Here we are taking another look at the sweet side of science. We're at Nestle Ice Cream in Bakersfield. With me today, I've got Kelsey with us. We're going to go in and check it out, but first we need to meet Jared, food technologist at Nestle. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Thanks for coming, guys.
Hey, you know what? We're looking forward to this. Maybe we can sample a little something at the end. We ready to go take a look?
Let's go do it.
All right, let's go. Today we're in Bakersfield. We're at the Nestle plant, and today we've got Jared with us. And Jared, what is your title here at Nestle?
I'm a food technologist for Nestle-Dreyer's ice cream.
So you're a food technologist.
That's right.
What exactly does that mean? Because some students are going, all right, you work at Nestle, what does a food technologist do?
Sure. Well, I guess you could say that we handle the science behind the food. So, food scientist, that was my degree. So what we do here is we develop and industrialize, meaning we scale up to big production levels of all of our ice cream flavors.
So you get to come up with different items and different things.
That's
and
right.
see how they turn out.
That's right.
All right. Well, with us this afternoon also, we've got our student co-host, Kelsey.
So what will we be doing today?
So today we're going to get to see some new mixes being made. We're in our test facility. We'll see it go through the process from start to finish. And on the other side here, we'll get to see some mix being frozen into pints, so finished ice cream.
All right, so the first thing we have to do is get the mix, right?
That's right.
Let's head over and see the mix.
Okay.
So what are the ingredients that are used in most of your batches?
The main component is dairy, so different components of the raw milk. In the mix that we're making today, it's a dairy-based mix, so we'll use cream and condensed milk. We'll add some sugar in, and then a few different stabilizers to make full-fat ice cream at the end.
And what role do the stabilizers play?
Components of fat and water that don't like to be together, so that those stabilizers kind of surround the different components, along with the emulsifiers to keep it stabilized. The stabilizers give it more body and texture.
What is the next step in the process?
So after the mix is actually batched,
Okay.
we'll send it to a homogenizer and then through a HTST pasteurizer.
All right, we ready to move to the next step?
Let's do it.
All right.
So we're at the flavor vats, and what's inside of here?
So this is where we pull the mix in. As you see down here, there are some agitators, so these propellers down here. Once the mix is pulled in, those spin so nothing settles out. So we need to keep it under agitation so it continually mixes and stays homogeneous. So I can show you the mix that we just saw get batched is in one of our tanks here, right here. Nice and smooth. So you see just a little bit of foaming, and you get that little air incorporation when it's pumped over. But it looks good here because there's not a thick layer of foam on the top.
So the foaming is just that air from going from one container to the next over?
That's right.
That's all that is?
Yep. We'll keep the mix here for a certain period of time. Could be, depending on the application, could be as short as 2 hours up to 6 hours or overnight even to age the mix. Now a lot goes on during the aging process to set up the mix for freezing.
Well, if we follow this one through all the way, we don't want to do the overnight one, so we'll go for the 2-hour one. What do you think, Kels?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Sounds good.
Now we get to the good part where we start adding flavors to it, correct?
That's right, yep. What we do is we know how much we have, how much mix we have, and so we add the flavor at a certain percentage that we've already tested out. So now when before we freeze the mix, we add in the flavors. So we've got some already weighed out here. We'll pour it right in and under agitation so it gets blended properly. Give it some time to mix in well. So Richard, this is vanilla, right?
Caramel.
Oh, caramel. This is the caramel flavor we put in. Yep. So we turn up the speed of the agitator to make sure it blends in completely before we go to freeze.
Was there a certain reason you used stainless steel to make it in?
The reason why we use the stainless steel is mainly around hygiene, so cleanliness. Stainless steel, of course, doesn't rust, so we can use water and liquid products in there and it doesn't deteriorate the stainless steel. And we can use some surface cleaners on the stainless steel and sanitizers that may deteriorate some other types of metals.
We've got the flavor. And about how long will that stay in there until you go to the next step?
So as long as the flavor's been blended properly, we can immediately start to draw it for freezing.
All right, so we've added flavor. We ready to go?
Let's go.
All right.
Yep, after flavoring the mix, next thing is freezing it. So as you see behind us here, we'll run it through one of our freezers. What we're running today is, of course, the mix that we saw with some caramel flavor. We've got a caramel syrup that goes into it, and then some chocolate-covered cone pieces added at the fruit feeder. The way it gets from the freezer down to the end here where we fill, a lot of processes go on. The first thing we do is actually freeze that mix. We want to send it through this freezer where we use ammonia to freeze the barrel. And there's a long barrel that we fill that mix into, and there's some ammonia that's enrobed on that barrel, and as it draws heat from that mix and evaporates off, and that's how we drop the temperature. So on the inside we have what's called a dasher. It's a blade. There could be 2 or 3 blades that rotate around the barrel and scrape off all the mix that's been frozen to the side into little tiny ice crystals. That just keeps going and going and going until we get the amount frozen that we need.
And you were mentioning a little bit about something about some of the ingredients that are going in here right now. So Kelsey, you want to hold your hands out right there and we'll take a little look. And what exactly is going into this right now?
Yep, so this is what we're going to dispense through our fruit feeder. These are chocolate-covered cone pieces. We want our cones to stay crispy in the ice cream. So we want to cover it in a fat coating to provide a water barrier so they don't get soggy, so they'll stay a little crispy in the ice cream at the end.
All right, so we've got everything going on in back of us, freezing, and then as it's coming out, finished product right here.
If this were to get produced at a larger scale, say our factory here in Bakersfield or one of our other facilities across the nation, this would be an automated system. So it would look very similar coming out, but it would be automated on a table or a belt and rotate through, and it would be a lot faster than what we're seeing here.
Now, these guys are manually doing this packaging. Are they also going to partake in some of the sampling while it's going on?
We want to do one more thing before we actually taste it out of here, is run some samples through our micro lab to make sure that the finished product is safe to eat. It hasn't been contaminated throughout the production process. Okay. So we don't, not only do we do that here, but we do that in our production facilities before we ship out any product.
All right, well, you know what? I know that we've got these pieces right here, and we can
That's right.
sample that right now, but what do you say we head over to the lab and sample the whole product?
Sounds great.
All right, let's head over.
We'll taste some of the product and make sure that it's up to our quality standards.